And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, who's the better Leaf, Frederik Andersen or Mitch Marner?
I think there were a lot of Leafs that were humming last night, but those were the two, and I don't know the answer to that. I do think that Mitch Marner, given who he was playing against at times, did show out in a big way.
See, there's a difference between talented players and guys like Marner. Because guys like Marner have a sense for the moment. This little guy, I'll remind you, led the Leafs in scoring in last year's first-round series. Mm-hmm. This guy is not scared.
Against the very same Bruins.
Very same Bruins. He is a leader, McAuliffe. I know he's young. I know we don't look at him like that. That was dangerous as hell, by the way, from Jake Dubas. But this guy is a leader. He is going to make 12-5 in his career. Oh. He's only getting started. Yeah, I said it. He's only getting started.
You can't let Leaf fans enjoy the moment. You are already going to how much he is going to get paid next year.
See, let me tell you something, Shivani.
Okay.
I'm not here to pamper the feelings of Leafs Nation. I know you've noticed. Maybe other people haven't noticed.
But why is that the most important thing after Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs to go to how much he's going to get paid next year?
Because Leafs Nation in general watched that last night and said, oh, boy, we get knocked down, but we get up again. You're never going to keep us down. Go Leafs.
Wait.
And meanwhile,
is that Chumbawamba? Did you
maybe.
just Chumbawamba something?
Or New Kids, one of the two. Meanwhile, Marner's agency and possibly parents are like...
Are you tub-thumping right now?
Oh, there's going to be some tub-thumping come negotiation time between Kyle Dubas. It is completely fair game to keep bringing up the fact that he's the best Leaf. He's the best Leaf. They're paying one guy $11.6. Tavares has his bedspread and $11 million a year. I don't even want to talk about what Nylander's making. Oh, Nylander had one of his better games of the season last night. This is fair game to bring this up on this day. It's fair game whenever Marner looks like that, which is the best guy you got. And this is going to come to a head, and if he keeps going, it's great for the Leafs. Yeah. Kyle's got a problem.
The interesting thing for me, though, is, listen, there are a lot of people breaking down this game that thought that the Tavares line got the better of the Bergeron line because the Bergeron line got their goal on the power play.
You're in that line, yeah.
But there was a lot of sustained pressure when the Bergeron line was out there, so much so that Bruce Cassidy ended up moving it to the Matthews line, and I thought Austin Matthews was buzzing a lot too. What I'm trying to say to you is, without Tavares, they got beat by this very same Bruins squad. Right. I don't think that any of these guys are as successful without the others. We're going to talk about Jake Gardiner making what, $6 million next year?
With somebody.
Right? Like, that's the rumor of what Gardiner will get paid somewhere else next year. That's not $6 million.
But that's not even a rumor. That's a fair market observation of this league.
He was a third-pairing defenseman last night for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Still can put up points, though. He still can put up points.
Here are the numbers on the defenseman yesterday. Jake Gardiner played 16 minutes, 32 seconds. A minute of that was on the power play when Mike Babcock sits down Ron Hainsey because we know Ron Hainsey's limitations. I thought it was really interesting to see what the Leafs did last night, and what I thought was most interesting was they were physical, and I think the Boston media peppered their team with a lot of, hey, did they surprise you with their physicality, and missed the point. The point was the Leafs looked really fast. And especially on the forecheck,
extremely quick. Yeah.
They looked really fast. And they caused Boston to do a bunch of things that they didn't want to do, not the least of which, for people who haven't seen Boston play all year, make Zdeno Chara look slow. Zdeno Chara, and it doesn't even feel comfortable coming out of my mouth when I say Zdeno Chara did not look good at all, but Zdeno Chara did not look good at all. This was the penalty he took, and this was after the Leafs complained about 7 times that he kept doing things like this in order to not look so bad. Yeah, the Leafs' speed caused a lot of problems for the Bruins last night.
He wanted no part of Nylander on that. He knew Nylander was gone, obviously.
He gone.
But it wasn't, Tim, it wasn't just the speed, and I will give Tim McAuliffe the credit on this because he pointed out the play to me about a couple of hours ago. Trevor Moore in the corner in the second period.
There are a couple of websites, a couple of bloggers that pointed this out.
It wasn't just a speed thing. Guess who got muscled? You kidding?
That's Trevor Moore and Zdeno Chara.
In that building? A house of horrors for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Jordan Peele could have shot a film there about how the Leafs have done. I mean, Tim, of all the video last night, that's one of the most stunning pieces of video in either game I saw. The Gaudreau-Zadorov thing we'll show in a bit. That made me puke in my mouth.
Sometimes we play the results, though, and it frustrates me, and I understand why we do it, and I understand why the media does it. But I thought that Auston Matthews had a really good game, and I think that Mike Babcock thought that Auston Matthews had a really good game, even though he didn't get the goal. Like, he was buzzing all game long, and he led all forwards in ice time, and there was much talk, much consternation about how much ice time Auston Matthews would get and if he would lead. Remember, you had it. We had it.
We had it a lot.
And look at that number. Does that surprise you to see that number in game 1 of the postseason?
No, because if Mike Babcock's going to lose this series and lose his job, you got to at least play one of your top guys. And at some point, it's going to happen.
But people were talking about the talk back and forth at the end of practice.
That was ridiculous. I'm with you. I'm not buying into that. But the fact that you're playing, look, if you're going to go out, you got to play Matthews. You have to play your $11 million guys significant minutes, because if you don't, what the hell is the point of all this?
We ain't going out like that?
You ain't going out like that. So I'm not at all surprised to see that yesterday.